Tell me about this season for the GBA Academy.
Well, it's a long story to talk about, but overall we are very satisfied with everything we were able to accomplish. Obviously, we faced a lot of challenges after 2 COVID years, where pretty much the whole Europe did not play many games, so recruitment of players and development of players was very challenging. So we were very happy that we were able to compete, and we actually were able to assemble a certain amount of growth during the COVID years, and we were able to, first year as the only organization in Czech Republic, manage 2 U19 extra league teams, which was obviously a huge challenge for us. And we added a under 17 extra league as well. So there was a lot of work to be done, and I'm very excited that both teams in the U19 leagues advanced to the pre-playoffs and playoffs, and obviously we were able to win a national championship with the U19 Jays, so that was a very great experience. And mainly I'm very excited about the growth that the team has done during the year, and obviously individually each player on that team, that they grew as a whole. And you know, the biggest challenger for the championship was Basket Brno, and you know, when we played them first time we lost decisively, and then second time we won a close game, and then in the championship I thought we were significantly better. So that makes me very excited for all the juniors that we had this year. And you know, the similar story was our under 17 team that basically started out losing every game, just learning and getting through the process of what we do here, and you know, improving significantly in their win-loss column. And you know, I believe we were a couple free throws away from winning a championship with that team, and I thought third place was a great reflection of all the work that the kids and the staff have put in during the year. So as far as the youth segment, I'm extremely satisfied and happy about what the players and the teams have done.
Okay, and now the season is over, so how does the daily GBA life look like?
Well, our program is designed to be a 10-month. Obviously, we have a microcycles and segments of the season that we focus on different things, whether it's individual development or strength and conditioning, team concepts, all together. We have different segments. Now is after season, so we are able to micromanage a little bit more the body needs of each players that you might not have in the season. We can zoom in on more and more skill set of the player instead of team concepts. Let the players play more free and experience themselves and new ways for them to improve. So this is, I would call it like a relaxed time, but we still are putting the time in the gym and work with the kids to be better all the way until end of June. That's our former, that's our current players. Now obviously the big process of the academy's players come get better and hopefully leave to a better place, and they need to be replaced. So the one thing that we as a staff and organization are doing is actively looking into new players that could fit our culture, that have the ambition and desire to be better basketball players that would fit in our program. And so the recruiting is also a part of our daily routine now.
Okay, so you told that you're looking for the new players who can feel the academy to get better together. So how does recruitment process look like? I mean, who can come to the academy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think what needs to be shared is that our doors are open to anybody. A lot of times players are afraid or parents are afraid to contact us because they respect the level of talent here, that they think that it's not for their son. I think that is not true at all, and we are open door to everybody that has a strong desire to be a better player, that wants to commit himself to work, that has the character not to threaten our culture. And we don't necessarily look at you as an NBA prospect or a beginner. If you possess those character traits and you understand the added value of being worked daily and differently with, then, we love to see talent. We have some world-class talent here, and we've had it over the years. But GBA alumni does not have to be NBA prospect. We are very proud if players come here, improve themselves, and find a better way to a successful life, whether they become students or basketball players.
Mm-hmm. You talked about the culture, so tell me something more about the GBA culture, the organization culture.
I think it all comes to the core, and the core is we want to make every person and player the best version of themselves. And in today's world, you cannot do that by treating everybody the same. Now, I'm not talking about character treatment. We try to treat all the players, whether you're the best or the worst, same way as far as fairness of character. But when you come down to basketball, psychology, positions, skill sets, it becomes such a diverse approach to each player that I think that what's very important is that we treat every player with a customized approach. And I think that's very unique, and I think that's what makes our players happy and satisfied being here. And then obviously part of the process is then put it all together in a team group and team production, which obviously is the nature of the game anywhere that our players will go from here. Winning is important, so we try to touch the player in all of these areas, and you cannot do that without committed people. You cannot do it with motivated people. You cannot do it with coaches that understand that being a basketball coach is a 24/7 job, because you never know when your player will need you. And I couldn't be more thankful that we are able to assemble such a group. And I think that as far as culture, this is the core of it, and it translates into how people treat each other, how much they enjoy day-to-day and week-to-week process. The biggest thing about the culture is that if you assemble a group of people that want to work hard and are motivated, then that is just the starting line. And then the culture obviously is every year a little bit different, because we have different people, we have different countries, we have different level of talent. So it's always fun to see where they start as a group, and I mean all the players, and where they end when we are saying goodbye in June. And I think that is the most satisfying thing for me as the director, regardless of, are we champions or we are second or we are third. I think that's that mindset that we have here. It's not just me, obviously. It's our strength and conditioning staff. It's all of our coaches. It's all of our supporting staff. I think we share mutual vision, and that's why it's very functional.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned about new people, new cultures, new languages, new countries. So what you've learned from this season, from the people around? Me
personally, I continue to. Every year I coach more, and I am in GBA. Every year we have such a different personalities coming in from all over, that you always learn different approaches, and you learn different communication channels, and you get to see that the respond, what works with other people, how to motivate other people, how to when to let them go. Just basically, this is something that really I feel like I'm getting better at. Obviously, the basketball is a continuous process. You never can know enough, so you have to continue to educate yourself and getting the experience and working hard. So that's something that every year has making people better, and our coaches better, and myself obviously as well. But this year, again, the biggest thing for me was I thought we had an incredible amount of talent in all three teams. And that is not always easy to develop, and it's definitely not easy to put it together where they care about one another and play as one. And I thought we were able to do that, which makes me obviously excited and satisfied, but I also took a lot of lessons from the process. And how to communicate with people? I mean, there's a lot of diversity. You have to develop trust, and that is very, very hard to do in a short period of time, right? Because trust is built upon information that the player receives that turn into a positive progress for him. And then the trust continues to grow, right? And I think that's the number one thing, that you have to communicate in a way where you continue to keep the trust of the player. And that's on and off the court, obviously.
Tell us more about the mission, vision, and of course, evolution.
Considering we started 8 years ago in a small gym in Prague with 4 players, being nearly full of 40 players now, the evolution has taken a long part, obviously. If you fixed on too quick of a results and not understanding the process, you will make many mistakes along the way, and we have done some. But overall, we've built our strength and conditioning department to be a very elite, obviously for youth basketball level. Our coaching staff, whether they receiving offers from different areas or countries, or they are, offered national team youth jobs or professional jobs. I'm not going to share everybody's story, but there is interest in our coaches, and I'm very excited every time where our coaches receive an offer. And some of the guys that have been working for GBA went on to coach professional basketball in Israel or Division I in America, or we even have a guy that works for the NBA now. I mean, it's just it's a great feeling to know that not only players can grow here and get to a better place, but also our staff. So back to your question, our vision is to continue to do things better. I mean, I think it's the name of the academy speaks of itself, and as long as I am blessed to direct it, that is just going to stay the course. If we are not better next year than we were last year, and I'm not necessarily saying the result-wise, if you're a champion, it's hard to be better, right? But in the way we function, in the way we touch people's lives, in the way we educate ourselves, in the way we separate ourselves, if we not continue to pursue that, then I think the mission and vision of the company is going to get lost. And that's my job, to make sure that that continues to happen.
How do we improve the players?
Just understanding who the player is now, and then envision the training process that we can arrange for his needs, and understanding where he can be at the next level. I think just this, if you execute, then you're maximizing his chances to succeed. And I'm just crazy excited that we receive a talent from all different areas. How we were having Ian Grania this year, and what his skill set has become to a full, complete player that can play inside, outside, play 4 different positions, can shoot the ball, and you just have to teach it, and you have to allow the player to do it in games, even though if you're sacrificing results. And again, whether we go from Jakub Kolbali, who played point forward for us, sometimes shot 45% from 3, while he was the biggest and strongest guy on the floor. And there's just story after story where I think that the proper training, but then yet understanding that you might not perform to your best if you allow the player explore and try new things in the game, then manage it to the end where it's compatible as a unit. That is, I think, what makes us special in player development. I really believe that.